I welcome you all in this video. Today I am going to discuss the poem A Tiger in the Zoo written by Leslie Norris. This poem has been prescribed in the class 10 English textbook First Flight. Let us know something about the poet. George Leslie Norris, 1921 to 2006, was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. He is considered as most important Welsh writers of the post-war period, and his literary works have won many prizes. His famous works are Finding Gold, The Loud Winter, Phoenix, Living Parts series, Ransoms, etc. My dear students, let me ask you a few questions. What is freedom? Are you free? Are you able to enjoy your freedom? What is captivity? Is it a cruelty to keep animals in the zoo? First of all, let me come to freedom. When one is free to act according to his own will, or speak or move around, then we can say that he or she is free. So of course we are free here. Captivity is when someone is imprisoned inside a cell or prison. There they are getting their food, medicines, clothes, but they are not free to move outside. They can't act according to their own will. So this is the basic difference between freedom and captivity. And this is also the theme of this poem, freedom versus captivity. In this poem, Norris describes how the tiger longs for its freedom. It somehow wants to break its imposed captivity to become the same wild spirit again. The poet also focuses on the theme of natural beauty in this poem. The tiger is a part of nature that stands for the beauty of nature as a whole. It represents the wild side of nature, still has its beauty. And the next theme is animal cruelty. It still prevails in our society. The poet shows us pity towards the caged animal through this poem. Here he beautifully describes the situation of a caged tiger inside the zoo and outside the zoo. Let me read the lines of this poem. He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his gaze, on pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet race. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plum deer pass. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Let me come to the first stanza. He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his gaze, on pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet race. Difficult words. First is zoo. It is a park-like area in which live animals are kept in cages or large enclosures for public exhibition. Stalks. To walk stealthily. Vivid, bright colored. Pads. Paws of tiger. Raise. Anger. Let's see the meaning of the first stanza. Here the poet says, the tiger is confined in the zoo, moves around in the cage under his bright colored skin. The tiger can take only a few steps because the cage is small and it is not easy to move in it. He has very soft feet like velvet, because of which there is no sound of the tiger's footsteps. The tiger tries to control his anger by quietly walking inside the cage, as he is not free. The poet is moved to pity for the tiger. यहाँ पर पोएट हमें बताते हैं कि जू में जब टाइगर एक पिंजरे में केज में बंद है और वो वहाँ पे एक सीमित एरिया में चल रहा है, तो वो कुछ ही कदम चल पाता है, जो कि उसके लिए आसान नहीं होता है। और उसका स्किन ब्राइट कलर्ड है, हम बहुत ही आसानी से उसकी धारियाँ उसके शरीर पे देख सकते हैं। और उसके पाँव मखमली हैं, जिसकी वजह से जब वो चलता है तो कोई आवाज़ नहीं होती है। यहाँ पर टाइगर अपने गुस्से को काबू में किए हुए और शांत होकर चल रहा है, क्योंकि वो आज़ाद नहीं है। नेक्स्ट स्टैंजा इज, he should be lurking in a shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. Difficult word here is lurking, to be hidden as to wait for your prey. The meaning of the second stanza is here that in this stanza the poet imagines the life of a tiger in its natural habitat, that is in the wild forest. The tiger would have been lying in the shadow of the tree or hiding in the long grass to prevent other animals to notice its movement. In this way, he would reach the water hole where all the animals of the forest come to drink water. When a deer would pass through the water hole, he would attack him and have him as a meal for the day. इस स्टैंजा में पोएट हमें बताते हैं जब टाइगर का लाइफ जब वो अपने नेचुरल हैबिटेट में हो, यानी कि जब वो जंगल में हो, वहाँ पर वो पेड़ की छाया में अपने शिकार का इंतज़ार कर सकता है और कोई भी एनिमल उसको नोटिस नहीं कर पाएगा वहाँ पे। और अगर कोई जानवर जैसे कि हिरन हो, वो पानी पीने आए, तब वो उस पर झपट्टा मार के उसको पकड़ लेगा और वो उसके दिन का खाना हो जाएगा। Stanza third. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Difficult words. Snarling, warning sound made by animals. Baring, uncovered. Fangs, sharp tooth of animals. Let's see its meaning. In this stanza, the poet says that even though he would prefer the tiger to live in the forest, it is not as if it would lose all the touch with human civilization. He would have snarled around the houses located at the outskirts of the forest. He would terrorize people with his sharp tooth and claws. This would create fear among the people living in the villages. यहाँ पर पोएट बताते हैं कि टाइगर प्रेफर करता है फॉरेस्ट में रहने के लिए, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी ऐसा नहीं है कि उसका जो टच है इंसानों के साथ वो छूट जाएगा। वह जंगल के किनारे पे आके जो इंसान के घर है वहाँ पे वो ज़ोर ज़ोर से दहाड़ेगा और लोगों को वो डराने की कोशिश करेगा अपने शार्प टूथ और क्लाउज दिखा के, जिससे कि गाँव के लोगों में वो अपना डर पैदा कर सकता है। Stanza 4. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his gaze, ignoring visitors. Difficult words. Concrete, building made of brick, cement, sand and water. Meaning of Stanza 4. The imprisonment of a tiger in a cell made of concrete has changed the personality of a tiger. This wild creature is famous for its freedom and fearlessness, but due to human beings, the tiger's strength is locked behind the bars. The tiger moves slowly and quietly in his cage and pays no attention to the people who are coming to see him. चूँकि यहाँ पे टाइगर एक सेल में बंद है जो कि कंक्रीट है, जिसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि टाइगर की पूरी पर्सनैलिटी ही बदल जाती है। यह वाइल्ड क्रिएचर अपने फ्रीडम के लिए, अपने फियरलेसनेस के लिए फेमस है, लेकिन इंसानों की वजह से उसका जो ताकत है, उसकी स्ट्रेंथ है, वो यहाँ इस केज में बंद हो गई है। टाइगर वहाँ पे धीरे धीरे मूव करता है और जो लोग उसको देखने आ रहे हैं, जो विजिटर्स हैं, उनकी तरफ वो ध्यान नहीं देता है। Stanza 5. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Difficult word, patrolling, to guard. Meaning of fifth stanza. In the last stanza, the poet says that the tiger does not sleep at night. He hears the sound of the patrolling cars, but shows no interest in the sound. The tiger keeps on staring at the shining stars with his brilliant eyes, as if feels total helplessness. यहाँ पे पोएट हमें बता रहे हैं कि टाइगर रात में भी नहीं सोता है। जो पेट्रोलिंग कार्स होती है, जू अथॉरिटीज़ के जो लोग हैं, वो रात में एक बार लास्ट टाइम गार्ड करने जाते हैं, तो उनकी गाड़ियों की आवाज़ की आती है, लेकिन उसमें टाइगर को कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं होता है। वो एकटक होके जो शाइनिंग स्टार्स है उनकी तरफ अपने ब्रिलियंट आइज से देख रहा होता है। उसे इधर उधर कहीं कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, क्योंकि वो पूरी तरह से हेल्पलेस है। अ टाइगर इन द जू shows inhuman behavior towards animals. These animals also have right to live, but we are keeping them in the zoo for our own entertainment. So wild animals should be in their natural habitat. One more point also arises here is the problem of deforestation. Some animals are on the verge of extinction. Because of that, we are bound to keep them in the zoo so as we can preserve them. I think in stanza 3, the poet points toward this point. If we are cutting down trees in the jungle, then definitely tiger are going to move out towards the village in search of their meal. So we should check on deforestation. The poet has beautifully used literary devices in this poem. First one is rhyming scheme. Each stanza of the poem has ABCB rhyming scheme. Second, personification. It is when you assign the qualities of a person to something that isn't human or that isn't even alive. Here, the tiger has been personified as the poet refers him as he. Next is metaphor. It is a figure of speech that directly refer to one thing by mentioning another. Example, on pads of velvet quiet. The paws of the tiger has been compared to velvet. Fourth one is consonance. It is repetition of consonant sound in close proximity. In these examples, you can see the use of S sound in the poem. He stalks in his vivid stripes. He should be lurking in shadow. His strength behind bars. In the last one, B sound has been repeated. Fifth, assonance. It is repetition of vowel sound in close proximity. In this example, you will see the use of vowel sound I. First, he stalks in his vivid stripes. Second, bearing his white fangs, his claws. Third one, and stared with his brilliant eyes. Sixth, enjambment. It takes place when the same sentence continues to the next line without any punctuation marks. Examples are as following. First, he stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his gaze. Second, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plum deer pass. Third, he should be snarling around houses at the jungle says. 7. Oxymoron. It is the use of adjectives opposite in meaning. For example, quite raise. 8. Imagery. Here the poet tries to create an image of the tiger. For example, he should be lurking in shadow. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his gaze, bearing his white fangs, his claws. After reading these lines, we can create a picture of the tiger with our senses and whatever the situation is with him. Last one is alliteration. It is the repetition of the same consonant sounds at the beginning of closely connected words. For example, where plum deer pass. Next one is his strength behind bars. Last one, he hears the last voice at night. Where plum deer pass. Here per sound has been repeated. Next, his strength behind bars. Here per sound has been repeated. Last one, he hears the last voice at night. Here her sound has been repeated. I hope you all have understood this poem. Okay, thank you.